The darkness continues.
Peace, folk. Welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. Well, I'm back with nothing. And yes, the darkness continues. I don't know if y'all remember, I guess it was last week or so, we were in the Honorable Judge Kenneth King's courtroom, and there was a brother in there who claimed he was capable of representing himself. That proved to not be such a good idea. And if you've forgotten, here's a reminder.
I'm requesting to represent myself, sir.
Okay, go ahead, represent yourself.
So as you can see, he didn't do a good job of representing himself, but he is back, and we're going to get into it, and we're going to see how he fares this time around. And once again, fair use, Negroes, fair use. Well, all right, we are here, and like I just said, we are back in the Honorable Judge Kenneth King's courtroom, and our boy is back. You know, the brother who thought he could represent himself. If you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the lawyer that he said he didn't want, and he wanted to represent himself. The lawyer's on the screen now, and I think the brother will be coming back momentarily. So, let's get at it. And of course, fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Judge, I am back from my breakout room, and I believe the Wayne County Jail has just returned him to the courtroom. If we could recall it briefly.
Now look how he looking. Look how he looking. Does he even look like he's about to do, say, or even think anything of any intelligence at all? At all. But we continue.
We're back on the record on People versus Jose Taylor, case number 2206074801.
I'm Daniel Wozak with the defendant.
Shelley Drain for the People, P number 60249.
Your Honor, in my discussion with my client in the breakout room, he is insisting that I get him released on a tether.
Now, your lawyer can only lobby for things for you in front of a judge, because maybe people don't understand what's going on here. Judge King, he is a felony exam lawyer. Basically what that means is he's basically a preliminary examination judge, right? You come to see him usually when you first get charged, probable cause, your preliminary exam, not even, I think this is like pre-arraignment. And when you come to his court, you've been charged with a felony or multiple felonies. And what you're doing is waiting to be bound over to superior court or a circuit court. He is basically the judge that brings you in. That's when you get your initial charges in front of him. And then he decides whether or not you get a bond, or if you don't get a bond, etc., etc. Right? And I think brothers don't understand that. That's why I'm always saying a lot of these people are just too stupid to be committing crimes. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
I appreciate the referral to pretrial services, Judge. I have only the information they gave me in the discovery and my appointment order. I have to leave it to your discretion, but I am doing what my client asked me to do.
Ask you to get him out on the tether? Does he understand and recognize you can't do that?
No, he doesn't. He has no idea. That's why he keeps saying it. That is why he keeps saying it. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's why I always say, when you find yourself in this predicament, you know what you need to do? Shut your ass up. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
I'm not sure, Judge. I keep telling him that that's your ruling to make, but he keeps saying I need to get him out on a tether.
You need to get me out on a tether, white man lawyer that I told you last week I didn't want you to represent me. As a matter of fact, let's cut to that clip right quick.
Mr. Taylor, it's unlikely that the judge would change your bond without having more information about the case by either holding an exam or having you waive the
All
exam.
right, I want to represent myself then. I don't want you to be my lawyer.
Yeah, he told the white man he didn't want him to represent him. But here we are. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Sir, do you understand your attorney can't do that?
Okay, how can I speed up this process? So I gotta, can I just plead guilty to something and just get out?
No, you cannot do that because this is a felony exam courtroom, Negro. I'm pretty sure they gave you paperwork. It didn't say that on it. Or maybe the Negro can't read. I don't know. But we continue.
On probation or something?
Doesn't work like that, sir.
Doesn't work like that, Negro.
So I gotta sit here. When am I gonna get my bond reduced?
So
Judge,
apparently you don't understand how the whole bond thing works either.
No, I don't.
Of course he doesn't. That's why he keeps talking about it. He doesn't understand any of this. That's why he continues to talk. Isn't it funny that the people who know the least always find themselves speaking the most? It's odd. It's odd how the people who know very little have so much to say. It's incredible. Now, if y'all remember before, this brother was talking more than his lawyer was talking. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Okay, let me explain it to you. Purpose of bond is to make sure that you show up for court and that you don't pose a danger to the community. The last couple of times you've been before me, you've been rather hostile, which gives me pause as to whether or not you pose a danger to the community. Mr. Reagan fought very hard to get your bond reduced.
Now you see this brother to the left here. This is Attorney Reagan. He's a public defender too, a damn good one. But he is no longer on Brother Reagan's caseload anymore. And I know Attorney Reagan is glad. Because this dude, when he comes before the judge, he acts like a complete ass. And he wonders why he cannot get anything to move in his direction. He wonders why. But we continue.
I don't recall what I did with that. But I set your bond where it was at. Mr. Wozak followed up behind Mr. Reagan and also asked the court to reduce your bond. And I denied his request as well. my memory serves me correctly, you were pretty hostile. You stood up and you told the court that this was some BS. I used the initials. You used the words.
Yes, he did do that. Let's go to that videotape.
Goodbye.
Come on, now how is she trying to charge me and she don't even want to charge me? That's some bullshit.
Keep talking. And then you walked off the screen. I found that rather offensive, but also rather telling as to your character.
I apologize, sir.
And now he's apologizing. Now, when a person apologizes to a judge, right? Because when you're in front of a judge, you probably don't want to make it personal, right? You want a judge to look at you as just another case on his caseload. But this dude has acted an ass so much that the judge remembers him. The judge remembers him. And when a judge is remembering you based off of your prior bad acts, that's never going to fare well for you. It's not. You want the judge to be looking at paperwork when they call your name. The judge shouldn't be remembering you off of prior bad acts in his courtroom, because now you've made it personal, and you definitely don't want to make it personal with a goddamn judge when you're facing felonies. I don't know what Negroes be thinking. What it is they don't think at all. This is what it is when they don't think at all. These old mama raised ass Negroes who have no self-discipline, no self-control. Guarantee you this Negro is raised by his mama. I guarantee you. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
That, coupled with the charges, gives me great concern as to whether or not you are to the community. You appear to be your own worst enemy. I also recall you wanting to represent yourself and fire Mr. Wazak.
Yes, he wanted to represent himself. Remember this?
I'm requesting to represent myself, sir.
Okay, go ahead, represent yourself.
Okay. I want to request a tether.
No.
Okay, can I request a bond reduce or something?
No.
And we all know how that turned out. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Tell me you didn't even graduate from high school. What is this bond set at?
$250,000 cash, Judge.
250,000 cash. I must have been really upset with you. Let me see that bond.
You hear that? Did you hear what the Honorable Judge King said? If your bond is set that high, I must have really been upset with you. You don't want a judge saying that. That's how you end up with a $250,000 bond. When the judge is upset with your black ass. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use. But even with all of that, because like I said before, and I've said many times, Judge King is a pretty fair judge. He's a pretty fair judge. You see, he's actually looking it over. Now, this brother has been before Judge King quite a few times and act like an ass every time. But the judge is still willing to look his case over after all of that. Because he can just tell him to get up and get his ass out of there if he wanted to. But he's looking it over just the same. Because the Honorable Judge King has a degree of humanity. Even when some of these Negroes that come before him are not worthy of it. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
How much can you post, sir?
Right now, I just lost my job. So I don't know if I got any funds, but I can contact my mother and have her try to put something together.
Listen. I gotta contact my mother. I gotta contact my mama. Grown ass man. In here talking tough and talking all this BS. But when it come down to it, what does he have to do? Run to his old mammy. Did not tell you this Negro was mama raised. Didn't I tell you? But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
I just want a reasonable bond work. Please, can I get out on the personal again so I can get to my son?
Now notice, he's talking about getting out on a personal again. He was out. He was out on a personal bond. Got himself arrested again. Got himself arrested again after getting out. And he wonders why the judge does not want to let him out. You were out, Negro. And you got yourself back in. Just think about that. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Is the complainant the mother of your son?
No, we got a son together and she pregnant. I got 5 boys, 1 girl. But I got custody of my oldest son.
What's the complainant to?
She's my fiance.
Oh, so your fiance?
Yeah.
And you said she's pregnant?
Yes. Well,
So
she say
the mother of the son you're trying to get to.
that's my first baby mother. He 8 years old. And she lost custody of him a couple years back, and I had custody of him ever since.
Okay, you're confusing me. Which one is the complainant on this case?
This is my last baby mother. I got 5 baby mothers.
I got 5 baby mothers. Now let's just hover on that. All right. Obviously, this dude isn't that bright, right? Obviously, this dude has no problem being in and out of jail, right? He says he has 5 baby mamas. 5 women willing to have babies by this guy. Him. How much you want to bet? Give it another 15, 20 years. At least 2 of those kids that were sired by this fool will be sitting right where he sits today. Do this dude sound like he's a capable father? Does he sound like someone you would want raising someone? 5 baby mamas. And this speaks to how stupid the women are. Because they have no problem having babies by a guy like this. Absolutely not. None whatsoever. I bet you half of them kids he barely see. Now he claims to have custody of 1. But what about the other 4? Or I think the other 5. I think he said he had 5 sons and 1 daughter. What about the other 5? Do you think they see him? Do you think he supports them? Maybe he does. But if this guy is your father as a kid, you are screwed. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
This the 5th one.
So the 5th baby mother, the one that's pregnant, is the one that you're accused of assaulting. Is that right?
Yes, sir. They say
Let's talk about the case. I don't want to get you in any more trouble.
yes, sir.
Now you hear what he says. He says the last woman that she's pregnant with his kid. This is the woman that he's accused of assaulting while she's pregnant, because she's pregnant right now. This is what got him back into jail. This is what got him back. Allegedly assaulting the woman who's pregnant, I guess, with baby number 7. Yeah, baby number 7 to this guy. He's in here accused of assaulting her. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
And is this the one with that your brother was allegedly there too?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Notice his lawyer's just not saying anything. He's doing all the talking. His lawyer is saying nothing. And notice how the district attorney isn't even on the screen. She just left because she doesn't have anything to say. And that's one thing about this district attorney that I respect, this white lady district attorney. When she see these brothers up here talking, the lawyers, the defendants, the judge, she just shuts up. She doesn't say anything. She just let them kind of work it out. Yeah, she doesn't say anything. She just go ahead, let you Negroes work it out. I'm going to sit over here and be quiet. Good for her. She's a woman who knows when to shut her ass up. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
And if my memory serves me correctly, there was another case that was pending at the time that this allegedly took place.
Yeah, from 2020.
That's the problem, and that's why your bond is so high. So look at it from my perspective. You're out on bond, and I'm not saying that any of this stuff is true, but look at it from my point of view, because I don't know you from a can of paint. But understand what I'm looking at. I'm looking at you who come before me. I'm told that you already have a pending charge for domestic violence, and then you allegedly assault a pregnant woman that happens to be your fiance while on bond on another case.
See? He was already locked up for allegedly assaulting, I guess, another one of his baby mamas, right? He got out on bond. He was out. He gets locked up again for assaulting another one of his baby mamas. And he wonders why the judge won't let his ass out. I mean, I think it's pretty cut and dry. All right. Then on top of that, whenever he comes to court, he acts an ass. You don't want to be out of jail. At least that's how it appears to me. And guess what? It appears that way to the judge as well, Negro. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
That's gonna make me look pretty crazy letting you out on bond again, especially if you get out on bond and do something else to it.
I promise you, sir. That's why I asked for the tether so I can stay home and be on house arrest with my family.
Sir, Were you on tether on the first case?
No, sir.
But you did have a no contact order, right?
Yes, sir. But I was at a gas station. I ain't go upstairs. I didn't find her. I wasn't looking for trouble at all. Please, sir. If you
Please, sir. But we continue.
may, please. I'm not trying to make you look.
Look at his lawyer. His lawyer's like, oh, God. I just wish this Negro would shut his ass up. See what his lawyer just did? His lawyer's like, but we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Bad about letting me out again, but I guarantee you I won't let you down. You can put me under the jail. I mess up again.
Because your exam is set so far out, January 23rd,
Yes.
I am going to adjust your bond slightly. But I still have to protect the community. I'm going to set your bond at $250,000, 10%.
Which is a good look because his bail is $250,000 cash. The judge says, okay, I'm going to make it 10%. So instead of coming up with $250,000, he can come up with $25,000. Now, of course, he's probably not going to be able to come up with that either. You heard what he just said. I got to go to my old mammy, call her, and also kind of foolishness. So he's probably not going to be able to come up with that either. All right. But what the judge has done, he has looked out for this Negro with all of the stuff. The allegedly assaulting one baby mama and then get out of jail. Get locked up again for allegedly assaulting a baby mama of his, acting an ass in the courtroom, and the judge is still willing to do this. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
So that's 25,000.
Glad you know your math, even though you didn't graduate.
The judge was like, I'm glad you know your math. But we continue.
Yes, sir.
Can I please get out on tether, please?
And he just keeps asking the same old question that the judge has told him no to 1,000 times. But we continue.
Oh, yeah. That'll be with the tether if you do make that bond. Thank you.
I know I can't afford that amount. I lost my job. I just lost my job like 2 days ago. Please, sir, can I get another personal and with community service or something? Something that I can do? Or come in every day? Something. Please.
Please, judge, please. But we continue.
Understand I messed up the first time.
Sure, please don't say anything else about what you've done.
Yeah,
Notice his lawyer's like, man, stop talking about the case. Shut up. Now the lawyer's talking. The lawyer's like, look, sir, don't say anything else. Shut your ass up. I don't know why it's so hard for Negroes to shut up. Why is it so hard for Negroes to just shut up? Why? I tell you why. They just like the hoes who raise them. They're just like them. They can't shut their ass up. They can't. They can't. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Okay.
I understand. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just want to get home to my kids, please.
All right. The judge has heard the request. Just Hang on.
Yes, sir.
And this lawyer is still trying to look out for this man, even though the last time he was here, he told this man, I don't want you to represent me. I don't want you to be my lawyer. I'm going to represent myself. Yakety yak, yak, yak. And the lawyer is still trying to look out for him. He's like, shut your ass up. The judge has heard your request. Just hold on and shut your black ass up. That's probably what he want to say. That's what's on his mind. It's just that he's a lawyer and he can't say that. He lucky I'm not his lawyer. I'd be like, man, shut your ass up. God damn it, shut your ass up, Negro. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
So even though you cussed me out last time you were in front of me.
You heard that, right? The judge was like, even though you cussed me out the last time you was in front of me. But we continue.
Reduce your bond to $250,000, 10%. Your exam date is set for January 23rd. I can move it up just a little closer. Prospect is available on January 19th, any time of day.
Yes, I can do January 19th also, Judge.
I'm sorry, it's the co-defendant on that. And he's gone.
Correct.
Oh, I guess the co-defendant is your brother, right?
Yeah, my brother-in-law. That's my sister's boyfriend.
Oh, brother-in-law. Okay. So I'm gonna have to leave the date exactly where it is, but I am still gonna order the pretrial services report, and I'll set the bond at $250,000, 10%. And that's it.
Sir, I'm not able to, I don't have no money.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
You're all set, sir.
You're all set, sir. Get your ass out of here. Just leave. I mean, I've said a million times, I know it sucks sitting in the county jail. I know it sucks. But sometimes, man, you have to count your losses and move on. You must know when the moment has ended. You have to realize it. You must have time and spatial awareness, Negroes. This is over. It's time to move on. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use. Well, I can say this. At least this time around, he wasn't jumping up, yelling, screaming, using profanity at the judge and all this old kind of foolishness. Because see, if he hadn't did that when he was here before, maybe, just maybe, his bond wouldn't be what it is. Because I watch a lot of Judge King's stuff. The brother is pretty fair. As far as judges go, he's a pretty fair judge. He is. But don't try to cross him now. You cross him, he will hammer your black ass. And you better look like showing him respect, too. Yeah, you better look like doing that. Because if you act like you don't want to show him respect, he will make you regret it. And this brother, when he came in before, very disrespectful, loud, cussing at the judge, telling the judge what he's supposed to do, and all this old kind of foolishness. And Judge King just sat, because he's pretty stoic. He's sitting, listening. That's why his damn bail is $250,000. Sometimes, man, you got to realize when people have the drop on you, man. And that tough guy crap, when you sitting where these brothers are sitting, guess what? It doesn't work. It may make you feel better. You may prove to yourself that you this, you hardcore, you this, you that. But it doesn't benefit you at all. Not when you're sitting here. It just doesn't. Because the next thing you know, same dudes who sit up here with that tough guy act, when the judge throw a $250,000 bail at your black ass, now you're sitting here pleading with them. Please, Your Honor, I need to get out to be with my kids. Oh, I can't afford it, Your Honor. Where that tough guy crap at now? Where is it? Or do you vacillate between being a tough guy and a candy ass? Is that what it is? I've seen this I don't know how many times. The best thing for you to do when you're sitting where these brothers are sitting, man, is number one, show some goddamn respect. Number two, pay attention to what's going on with you, man. Number three, let your lawyer do the most of the talking. And number four, which I think is most important, shut your ass up. But we're going to swing out to another case because I wanted to show y'all this. The next one is more funny than serious. So I'm going to hit y'all in the head with a bonus clip. Now this person sitting in front of you, sitting up here looking like James Brown, is actually a woman, y'all. Yeah, that's right. This is actually a woman sitting here, looking rough as hell. When she first got here, I actually thought she was a man. Yeah, boy, she's a rough one. But listen to, you're going to listen to what her alleged crimes are. And we're going to, of course, be stopping it periodically, mostly for laughs more than anything else. And we also going to see once again the humanity of the Honorable Judge King, because he does dish out jurisprudence with humanity. And that's what I like about this brother. He's a judge that actually exercises humanity. And I respect that shit, man. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use. Tell me this woman ain't up here looking like James Brown, long lost stepbrother. She look like. but we continue.
Calling case number 2206-094001. People of the state of Michigan versus Brenda Collins. Defendant is charged in count 1, assault with a dangerous weapon.
I did not know she was a woman until they said her name. When they said Brenda, I was like, damn. Her name Brenda. But we continue.
Count 2, domestic violence. Defendant has a habitual offender court defense notice. Defendant also has case number 2206-094201. Defendant is charged in count 1, assault with a dangerous weapon. Count 2, domestic violence aggravated. Defendant has a habitual offender court defense notice.
Parents, for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Drain for the people, P number 60249.
That's the same case.
And notice she come right in there talking. Shut your ass up. But we continue.
That's the same case they got me put for over there. The same case. Hello?
Hold on.
Yeah, I just went to
Be
court.
quiet.
Yes, sir.
The judge is like, be quiet. Yakety yak yak yak. With your James Brown looking ass. Shut up. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use. But I will say this, though, as I stop this again. She's fortunate because if Attorney Reagan is representing her, he's a damn good public defender, man. He's one of the best I've seen. And I watch a lot of this stuff. He's probably one of the best public defenders that I've seen. He's good at what he does, and he fights for folks. I'm telling you. If you sitting where these people are sitting, and you have a public defender, you want it to be Phil Reagan. Trust me. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Mr. Reagan. I wish I had an alarm. Mr. Reagan.
Attorney Reagan texting his side hoe and shit. He texting his side chick.
Sorry, Judge. You called me? Okay, I'm ready, Judge.
Your appearance, please.
Your Honor, good morning, man. Please, this most honorable court. Philip Reagan, P57156, on behalf of Mr. Brenda Collins, who is appearing via Zoom from the Wayne County Jail.
Okay, now, Ms. Collins, tell me your name.
Brenda Collins.
All right, Mr. Reagan.
Judge, so Ms. Collins was arraigned on Wednesday, given an unaffordable bond. She has a few matters. One, $50,000 cash with the GPS tether, other $75,000 cash with the GPS tether. Ms. Collins, judge, is 59 years of age, has no assaultive history.
Damn, she's 59. She looked 78. But we continue.
Now, I did talk to Ms. Collins in depth on Wednesday. She explained to me that Mr. Edward Gibson is a longtime friend that she does not want to be with any longer. He keeps harassing her. She's put a PPO out trying to keep him away from her. But every time he sees her with another man, he says to her, and I quote, "Bitch, you going to jail." And he calls the police and says, "I'm going to get you messed up." And she's more or less the victim, is what she explained to me here, than defendant, Judge, based on our conversation. And she's trying to get away from this man.
Wait a minute. Am I hearing this right? Now, y'all looking at this woman, right? Are y'all looking at this woman? This woman looks like your damn grandfather who's a drunk. All right? This woman looks like your grandfather who's now a drunk, but used to be a dope addict in the 80s. And you're trying to tell me that some man is chasing after her ass? Is that what we're hearing here? cannot believe that some man, even look at the judge. The judge has a smirk on his face because he can't believe what he's hearing. You're trying to tell me that some man is chasing after this damn woman. Really now? Boy, I mean, it must be very, very slim pickings in Detroit if men are chasing after women who look like this. A 59-year-old woman who looks like a cross between James Brown and KRS-One? Are you serious right now? But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Judge Garrett just gave her a $10,000 personal bond with GPS tether and house arrest on his case. I'm sorry, a $5,000 personal bond with GPS tether and house arrest on his case. Her bond on that case was $10,000 cash. So she has one misdemeanor DV and 2 FAs. I'm asking the court to set bond similar to Judge Garrett.
Look at the judge. The judge is smirking. He's like, oh boy, here come Reagan with his bullshit. But like y'all have heard me say before, Attorney Reagan and Judge King have a rapport with each other. You can tell that just by how they kind of operate inside the courtroom. At least I can tell. These two brothers have a rapport. And they also have respect for each other. There's respect between the both of them. And the fact that Attorney Reagan has a rapport with Judge King bodes well for the people that Attorney Reagan represents. It does. It goes a long way. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Judge, 50,000 personal, 75,000 personal with GPS tether and house arrest. She doesn't have any assaultive history. That's not her thing. This is something that's just kind of unusual. And I think once the evidence comes out, once the court hears the exam, if the court even hears an exam, if Mr. Gibson does decide to show up at exam, then I think it will become more clear. But right now, I think the court could satisfy bond with a personal GPS tether and house arrest, Your Honor.
Ms. Drain?
Thank you, Judge. So the two cases that we're here for, one was occurred on August 11th of this year. The allegation there is that Ms. Collins that she threatened the complainant with a knife, but she also hit him in the face. And when the police got there, the police observed that he did have a bloody nose. And then the second incident was on that was before. That was September 24th of 2021. And Your Honor, in that incident, the allegation is that Ms. Collins actually did stab the complainant. Same.
Now, she just as violent as her ass is ugly. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Complainant in the back, and he did have to go to the hospital for treatment. So we have two incidences just here right now of assaultive behavior where the complainant was injured. So it doesn't sound like he's just calling the police just to make it up to get him in trouble when there's evidence that he was injured.
Hold on, Ms.
So, Your Honor, I'm not objecting to a reduction, but I would ask for a cash bond.
And see, the evidence isn't that great because you hear the district attorney she says she doesn't even have a problem with the reduction. When you hear the district attorney says she doesn't have a problem with your bond being reduced, you basically got a foot out the door. Yeah. Because see, now she has threw the ball back to the judge because he listens to what the district attorney says, just like he listens to whatever defense attorney is speaking. All right. Because of course the defense attorney is going to be like, oh, judge, you should let them out. You should reduce their bond. You should make their bond lower. You should give them a signature bond, et cetera, et cetera. Of course, your attorney is going to say that. But if the district attorney is dead set against it, that makes it harder for a person to get out. But if the district attorney says, okay, this is some alleged crime that I don't like, but I don't have a problem with you reducing the bond, judge. Once she says that, now the judge is going to consider it because the people, aka the district attorney, doesn't have a problem with your bond being reduced. Therefore, the judge isn't going to have much of a problem with your bond being reduced. That's the way it works. Once the district attorney says, well, okay, I don't have a problem with their bond being reduced, you got a foot out the door, man. You have a foot out of the door. But we continue with James Brown here. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Current bond?
I'm sorry, Judge.
What's the current bond?
The current bond is 50,000 cash, surety with GPS tether on one, 75,000 cash, GPS tether on the another case, Judge.
So she has 2 felony cases pending before me, and then she has another.
And
Judge Garrett.
And the misdemeanor, he just reduced from 10,000 cash to 5,000 personal with GPS tether. And I told him we were coming to see you next for your cases. So we did talk about all 3 cases, even in his courtroom. So he knows he has other matters, but he still reduced it to with the GPS tether and house arrest was his main concern.
Now she was in another courtroom, right? That judge reduced her bond to a signature bond, even though he knew about these felony charges. So the district attorney doesn't have a problem with a bond being reduced. The judge wants to know what happened in the other cases. Y'all already know. He's pretty much going to follow suit. Because you can look at him, you can tell he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. She may not realize it, but she has a foot out the door already. Yes, she already has a foot out the door. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
My concern are the allegations here of stabbing him in the back and bloodying his nose.
Yeah, Judge, 2021, no, and then we still in 2022 having the same type of allegations. It's like, and Judge, you always taught me, you've been doing this a long time. So, I mean, I don't know, if Ms. Collins is telling, the whole truth. She says that she doesn't want to be around him. He keeps coming around her. He keeps harassing her. He keeps coming back. And she's trying to get away from him. But, that's either, near there. We still have these cases we have to deal with.
What is wrong with this brother where he's chasing this woman, this 59-year-old woman who looks like James Brown? What is wrong with this brother? I need to meet this brother. I need to ask him, man, why are you chasing a woman around that look like goddamn James Brown? And she don't even look like James Brown. She looked like what's that woman who used to play on Sanford and Son? Y'all know who I'm talking about? The lady, she was I guess she was Lamont's aunt, and her and Fred Sanford used to go at it all the time. Y'all go ahead and put that a name in the chat, man, because I can't remember it right now. But that's who she. That's who she looks like. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
I just think that if she's on house arrest, she lives with her mother right now, Judge, and she's taking care of her mother who's elderly. She gets food stamps and
what does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? But we continue.
I don't think she'll have contact, especially if she's on house arrest with a GPS tether. That means the only way she can see Mr. Gibson if he comes over to the house, which he better not do that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They just need to stay away from each other.
So where did these allegations take place?
Notice the judge is interested. He wants to know more about it. He wants to know more about it. But we continue.
And I'm sorry, I don't have a copy of the reports right now, Your Honor. I think Ms. Drain may.
Yes. So, let me see if they're both at the same place. Okay, yes. What the one in last year in 2021 was at the location of 8330 East Jefferson. And
That's for the defendant's address, right?
I can't, no.
Yes.
Judge, that was
No.
last year. And
Yes.
that was last year, Judge.
Yes.
Right.
And the incident this year was at,
7501 East Jefferson.
yes.
What is all this crazy noise in the background? Jeez. And like I said before, man, even now, the district attorney isn't saying too much. I mean, the district attorney doesn't have much to say about this case, which lets you know this case isn't that bad, man. Because when the cases are bad, the district attorneys are on it like, no, judge, don't let this person out. But she's barely paying attention. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
The first allegation took place at her residence. The second one took place at his. So if he won't leave her alone, why is she at his home?
My sister, Your Honor,
I'm sorry, Ms. Collins.
my sister lived and he don't live nowhere over there. That's my older sister live in 7501 apartment 503 Patricia Collins. He came over there at my people's house. I stayed away from him from when I was living with him down there on Dickinson, 1245 Dickinson. I don't do nothing. I did not scar him up or nothing. I just don't want to be with him. Tiana, he down my way. My mother, where I take care of her, 8330. She live there. That's where I'm telling you that. And 7501 is my older sister. He coming down there. I'm not around none of his people. He keep coming where I'm at, Your Honor. I'm not trying to hurt him now. He grabs me and then when he see me one time.
Yeah, he said he grabs her. Hold on, Ms. Collins. That's it.
Shut your ass up. You've said enough.
I got people, I got witnesses. Yeah, he grabs on me and then I just try to.
Ms. Drain, which street do you have the complaining witness staying at? On what street?
He don't stay nowhere. He and my
What's your
sister.
name, Ms. Drain?
He said, "Is your name Miss Train?" Shut your ass up. But we continue.
Hold on, Miss Collins. Hold on.
On Dickerson Street in Detroit.
Dickerson?
Yes.
Okay, so that gives some credence to what she's saying here, is that she's not coming to him, he's coming to her.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to reduce the bond to, on each case, I'm going to reduce it to 75,000 personal bond.
See that? Happy boy. She get to go out there and drink her some Thunderbird and Boone's Farm tonight. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Arrest, GPS tether.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right.
Now, I know, we had a few laughs, and she, up there looking like, James Brown, long lost brother. But the moral of the story is this. As you can see, the judge looked at the allegations and the facts that he had before him, and he came to the conclusion that, whatever's going on, this dude who's chasing this woman around, and I don't know why he's doing it. He's chasing her around. He's coming to where she is based on the addresses of the incidents and where he lives. The judge looks at it and he says, well, whatever's going on, this dude is coming to where this woman is. And just like that, she gets the sign on the dotted line and she's walking out of here today. That's why I say, when it comes to the Honorable Judge King, he deals with these people as a judge with a degree of humanity, especially if he deems them worthy of it. And you can't do anything except respect that. You have to respect that, man. You have to. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people, man, sitting in jail who probably don't deserve to be there. But I think the bigger population of people who are in jail, they do belong to be there. They do belong right where they are. Yeah, they do. They do deserve to be there. But it's good to see that a judge, if only this judge can distinguish between the two, I think that's important. I think that actually helps people. Because I don't believe everybody who finds himself arrested should just be sitting in jail, just rotting and withering away while they wait for the wheels of justice to turn, because they turn slow. Not everybody should be sitting there waiting to go to trial and waiting for preliminary exams and probable cause hearings and all this other kind of stuff. Not everybody should be sitting in jail waiting for that. But unfortunately, man, many people should be. Many people should be. But when it comes to people like the Honorable Judge King, he often splits the difference, man. When it comes to people like Attorney Reagan. He will get in there and he will fight for you. And even when it comes to this James Brown lookalike at the bottom right-hand corner, if what she's saying is true, she's one of the few people who probably shouldn't be sitting in jail waiting for the wheels of justice to turn. I look at a lot of this stuff, man, and sometimes I see things turn out a way that I don't necessarily believe they should turn out. But I think this here turned out just the way it's supposed to turn out. And hopefully she walks out of here and doesn't find herself in any more damn trouble. Because once you're 59 years old, man, it's time to stop going to jail. It's time to stop sitting in front of judges. It's time to stop being arrested. And hopefully, this is the last time we will see her here. The next time we see her, hopefully we'll see her on a stage singing, "I'm real, real, I'm the real super bad." Or "It's a man's world." You know, next time we see her, we need to see her doing that. Not seeing her do this. But that's all. I appreciate you good folks spending some time here. You could have spent your time anywhere. You decided to spend it with T.P.O.T. and it is appreciated. I don't take you good folks lightly, man. I never have and I never will. You got my word on that. So, with that, I will leave you good folk with 3 words. You know, like I always do. Open your mind. Peace, folk. Only from T.P.O.T. Media. Open your minds.